All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sorry for uh, being late a little bit. It's just because there are some things that need to be sorted. So they have been sorted now. So let's start. Yesterday we uh, created. I'm sorry. Let me just quickly open it. Let me enable. Okay, we created this and it's it was awesome. Today we are going to be doing some things that actually makes me to like Vray for Revit more than any other Vray because this can still be done in Vray for 3ds Max yet, and I'm not sure of Vray for SketchUp, but in Vray for Revit, it's a piece of cake. Some of the things I'm going to be showing you now. So if I go to interactive rendering, you'll notice where we stopped was where I had the HDRI and I prepared it to look like the way I want it, a kind of golden R type of light. So this is it. We can begin to appreciate the building more now, as you can see. So what I want to do now is I want to go evening. I want to do evening lighting, and like I told you already, you can either use your time setting with Verizon to do it, or you can use HDRI to do it as well. So now I'm going to use HDRI. I always use HDRI whenever I want to do anything dramatic. So now HDRI, click on dome light. You already know how to use it. So I just going to load another HDRI. Right now, if you go online and you search for uh, I don't know, the network seems to be okay. Let me stop this. So if you search for these people, so this is vispeople.com. They have a lot of objects that they sell. So if you go to 3D models, they have a lot of 3D models that they sell, and you can see uh, 3D traffic and all that. So they have them, and also they have some free stuffs. So if you go to free stuffs, you'll see cutout people, 15 free cutout people, and many things. So here they have free HDRIs. So if you click on free HDRIs, you can download their HDRIs. Very awesome, and I'm going to be using one of them. So it's going to be HDRI one. This is the way when you download it. This is the way it's going to look, and I'm going to, before I do that, let's go to PNG. Okay, we can't preview the PNG. So if I choose number 9, so let's choose the number 9 and click OK. So now we can return back to the rendering, interactive rendering. So what I want to do is I want to do artificial lighting with the exterior, so it will look, like a perfect evening. So let's see the way it looks right now. This is the way it looks. This particular area, I still have some sun in it. As you can see that we have some sunlight coming from it. Maybe I should use number 10. Number 10 seems to be totally dark. Let's just see the way it looks. Okay, so we have this and it's quite nice. You know, we can go and set the intensity. So it's, evening definitely is not going to be this bright. So we can put it on 1, and now it's totally dark. So if you think it's really, really dark, you can bump it up. But I'm going to show you something that you should do instead of just bumping it up here and there. So it's dark. Then you can go to camera. We've not talked about the camera at all. So let's just talk about it now. If I click on the camera, you see that we have the camera mode. We have everything like this, a standard camera. But what is the exposure? Now, when you are rendering, you can use your camera to set the exposure instead of increasing the light intensity. But you should know that when you are increasing the exposure of the camera, you are actually increasing the intensity of all the lights. So if you are okay with, let's say, the HDRI intensity, and you only want to increase the intensity of the light inside, then definitely you are not going to be using exposure to do it. You will use normal Vray light. You will just set the intensity. Now I'm going to just go like this. So I'm going to choose night, full moon, and it's quite crazy. Everything is too bright, so I'm going to just reduce it a little bit, maybe to like 5. Wow, that 5 is quite crazy. So you can just play with it. I think 8 should make sense here. So 8 is even much, so I can put 10. So it doesn't have all these what do we have in 3ds Max. It doesn't have all this aperture, ISO and all that, because they just don't want to complicate issues for you. So they only gave us exposure, and you can do exposure as well. What auto exposure will do is it will automatically calculate the light and give us a balanced exposure. You can do auto white balance as well. You see that we have some blue coming from the light source, which is from the HDRI. So if you click auto white balance, it's going to just calculate and give us a color that is fit for the environment. Now that we have done that, let's just, I don't like auto white balance. I like to create my white balance myself. Then now what we will do is we'll do the lighting and enable the artificial light. It is off right now, so we'll just enable it. So while we enable it, it's still not coming out great. So what I'm going to do, I will disable the auto, and I'm going to just go maybe towards 8. So by going towards 8, I can now go back to the lighting and reduce the intensity of the HDRI, maybe by, maybe like 0.05. And you can see now we are beginning to see the artificial light that was put there by default. So we are beginning to see it. It's not that much. It's not giving us a bright interior, but we can see that coming up gradually. So we can continue to play with this, maybe like 5. Then reduce maybe like 0.02. And you can see maybe like 0.01, so that the interior light will be much more pronounced. What if you want to create your own light? You want to actually have some illuminations. As you can see, it is what is there that we have, and we don't have any light at the upper floor. So what can we do? How to create light is quite simple. The normal way you create light, artificial light in Revit, is what we are. So if I go to level 2, so it's kind of loading. So this is the level 2. So I might need to stop the interactive rendering so that I can quickly create whatever I want to create. So I will just come to components, then I'll click load family, and oops, I don't have families loaded here because I just installed this. Oh wow, so what can I do to get the family? Oh, if you have experienced this before, then let me quickly show you the solution. There are two ways to go about it. The first one is to go to your control panel, just go to uninstall and go to Revit 2019 content library. Just click uninstall or change. So you will need to make sure that you have internet to do this because you want to add or remove features. So now content pack, we have different ones. I like to use UK, but yet I can choose UK and US. Uncheck all these other ones because you don't need them. So it will just waste your data. So you can see if you don't want US and UK, US Imperial Metric, you can just have only UK picked and you click next. So that's why it's always recommended that whenever you want to install Revit, you should actually be connected. So this is one way of doing it. It will connect to the internet and download the content library for you. But the challenge I have with this method is that it means every time that you want to install Revit, you must always have internet and all that. So I'm going to cancel it and show you the second way. The second way is to just search for Revit 2019 content library download. So the first search result is Autodesk Revit 2019 content from the knowledge.autodesk.com. That's the most important one, and it's going to give you the list that you can download. So now you can actually download right from there. This one is still behaving over there, but let's just leave it. So you see that you come to knowledge.autodesk.com and you see downloads. If you scroll down, you see different templates. So like I told you, I like to use UK. I can just scroll down. You see RVT 2019 underscore GBR. GBR means Great Britain libraries. So I can just pick this, then it will load. Don't know what's going on now. It's supposed to load and start downloading, but that's just the way to download it. I guess something is maybe the internet or something. Okay, it seems to okay, if it's not downloading, let me just, because I have a downloader, maybe downloader doesn't want to work, so I can just click download with free download manager. You can see it's 1.02 gig, and that's what this wanted to do. It wants to download 1.02 gig. You can imagine having to download 1.02 gig every time that you are installing. So it doesn't make sense at all. But by downloading it once like this, you can copy it and be using it every time you are working. The internet is quite slow, so maybe I should just switch to the Revit 2020 and use it to show you how to do that, and later I can finish this download. I think it will take about 17 minutes or so to download. So the network is getting stronger, but yet I wouldn't want to use that to delay you. I've forgotten I will have done that already. So now I'm going to just quickly open the 2020 While we are waiting for this, if you have any question, please you can start asking, at least for us not to waste the time that we have. Okay. So I'm going to open this sample project. The challenge I'm going to have now is this particular one. I don't think I've done anything over it before, but that's not a problem. So let's just quickly enable Vray. Oh, so while this is waiting, okay, so there is this thing about, maybe I should just quickly show you that before that one finish opening. There's this thing about Revit families that I personally find so difficult. It is the fact that majority of Revit families, when it comes to furniture, they are not really nice. They are not cool. So I discovered this Facebook page. It's called, and I don't know why, Renew or something like that. So what this guy is actually doing is trying to give us some nice components for Revit. You can see the cuttings. So one of the things I noticed he did was to actually patiently convert many 3D Max material to Revit, many 3D Max components to Revit, and you can see how nice and clean it is. So you can use it as a Revit component directly inside Revit. You see the way it looks. So it's quite nice. So if you can follow the guy, it's going to be making a lot of sense, because you can imagine importing something like this into your Revit and playing with material, varied materials. So it's going to make a lot of sense. It doesn't have much right now, but yet I so much believe that it's quite a matter of time. It's going to have a lot. It's going to have a lot. So, but it has all this. You can download them, and it's for free. All these ones now is giving them out for free, so you can get them. I know at the point it will start selling, but yet if you can give something that is of high quality, why not? Why not buy? In as much as we are using it to make money. So also there are some other websites like Tree. So Tree is a nice place where you can get some Revit component as well. And I'm just going to quickly show you the way they look while we are still waiting for. So let me just stop this one. Okay, this one is done, but let me finish this Tree rather. So a new approach to Revit families. So they have different ones actually. So let's just wait. You can see now we have some interior models, nice ones, entourage and vehicles and all that. So very easy to load. Simply drag and drop into the desired surface and then pull the blue handles to scale. So what they are trying to do is they are trying to make sure that when it comes to presentation, rendering, and all that, we have some nice element to play with. So you can just go to the website and see it for yourself, and really you appreciate what they have. So I'm going to just click on the interior. Maybe I should pause this particular download. It's on 22% already, but let me pause it so that the website will be faster. And you can see we have a lot of objects. Of course, it's for sale, but yet it's quite nice. What one needs to know is that if you get high quality stuffs like this, then if you buy them, since you know that you are working, you can see this one is $16, but we have a lot of objects there. So if I click on it, so you see the previews. So this, they have different previews. So if you don't want it to be too much detailed, you can have this. You can see, so they gave us in different level of details, which makes a lot of sense. And you can see you can use them in the interior render, and it's just quite nice. And for $16, I don't think it's quite expensive, to be honest, because $16 is what you buy, but you can use it for as long as you have them. So it's quite nice and cool. So you can check them out. They didn't pay me for this, of course, and I just find them, and I know that a lot of people might, need some of these elements in their rendering, so you can get them. There are many other ones. Maybe I will search for a lot of them tomorrow and show us. You can see quite nice beds and all that. So I believe by supporting them, by buying from them, we can get a lot more, instead of you to be racking your brain around how to go about families in Revit. So these are quite nice. Some are even not up to $2. Some are not even up to $1. Of course, we know that $1 is, if you are going to be looking at Nigerian naira, for example, $1 is quite uh, like 500 naira or thereabouts. But yet, if you buy something for 500 naira and you can use it for more than 1 year or even more than 10 years, so far you keep it in a good place, I don't think it's bad. And you can see some presentation graphics that was done with some of those elements as well. These are quite nice as far as I'm concerned. Uh, if you want to do graphics, of course, we are doing quite cool rendering, realistic rendering, but yet you can still use them for all those ones as well. So these are just gallery. I think I like some of the things that I'm seeing here. So for the studios, of course, for us here, we are going to be buying some of them eventually to use. Okay, now let's go back to Revit. Let's pick the 2020. So I've not done anything with this before, so let me just check the interactive. I'll not go through a lot of things that I've gone through from Monday to now. So I'm just going to talk about the artificial lighting here, and go back to, okay, it's rendering the view, the 3D view. So let's go and pick from yard, and you can see that almost like there's nothing actually that I've been done here. So that's not a problem. Let's just load our HDRI. So HDR CROC, and go to where our own HDRI is. I think number 10. It's loading. Okay. So we have a nice HDR right now. So if I enable artificial light, you can see that the artificial light is not showing really well. But if I change the exposure value now and I increase it and I reduce the intensity to 1 or 0.001, we will have something that makes sense in a way. So if you want to get some lighting components, if you want to get some lighting components, you can see those lights really come out. You can see because I really bumped this up too much. So let me just go back to like, so lighting components, you can go to websites like Beam. Okay, if you go to market.beamsmith, you're going to get a lot of components, not only lighting, but you get a lot of components. The major problem is they don't do furniture. The major problem is they don't do furniture. It's not that they don't have, I think they still have furniture, but those furniture are not just making sense as far as I'm concerned. So let's just wait for it for a while and see the way it looks. So while we are waiting, you can see now, because I increase the intensity, the exposure, then I just play with the intensity of the sky. You can see that I'm having a nice illumination now. One of the things I like to do is I don't like to go crazy like this, because this that is inside is too much, is too bright, and it's affecting this particular wall here. So let's go to like 5, because I just don't want that noise. Because having this noise means that the rendering will take a lot of time. So I can have something like this, even maybe 8. The last one that I did was 8, which was this. Yeah, I'm trying to find this and show you. I used 8 for that. I'm going to show you some of the methods that I use that made me have adequate lighting now. In real life, when a photographer, uh, I'm sorry, I should have opened it before now, but let me just quickly open it. I don't know why it's too far. So now, see this. In real life, when a photographer wants to photograph a building, what he does is he used some other light apart from the light that was provided in the building to actually give us something really nice like this. So that's what I'm going to be showing you now. So that's what I'm going to be showing you now. Cancel this, close this. Then let's go to the level 2, which actually brought us into 2020. So if I go to component again, then I can click load family. I have the UK. So you go to lighting. So we have many uh, lighting fixtures that comes with Revit as well. But what I want to use is I'm looking for a particular type of light. You see, lighting fixtures, studio light. This particular one is just a light. It's just a light source. It does not have any geometry on it. It's just a light. So I'm going to just click OK. Now I have the light here. You can see. Now I'm placing it on level 2. I can put elevation because this is level 2, and the elevation maybe I put 1.8. Then I can put it here. So it's saying that I can't see it from this view, but that one is not a problem. Let me just put it generally, and let's see the way it will work. Cancel when you are through, and let's try and see how it looks in rendering now. I want to make sure that I'm not working on a wrong Revit. So I'm closing the 2019. Oops, what's happening? Something okay, the command for the light have not gone. That's why it's doing like it doesn't want to render. That was a mistake on my own part. So you can see those lights that I put now, they are really coming out well and nice. But you'll see one thing is, even though they are coming out nice, they are really not uh, orange like the other lights. Of course, the exposure is 8 now. Maybe I should set my dome light as well. So like 1. Oh, that one is too much, 0.5. Okay, 0.3. Also, you can rotate your HDRI. So I'll check the preview. I look for an HDRI that has cloud rather. So if you want to work, you should determine how you want your work to look like. So it will determine the kind of HDRI you will use. And you can see this particular HDRI have some clouds on it as well. So I can begin to rotate. I guess around there is where we have the cloud. So I can just move over there. So you can see now it is looking much more dramatic now, unlike the background that just look plain. So I think I like this, and everything is coming out well. So the light that we put is white, like I said. So what you can do is just click on that component again. If you remember that you pick the light, click edit type, and on the edit type just scroll down and you'll see um, initial color. You can see under the photometrics, you will see the initial color, and you can click on it. The color is set to D65 reference white. You can choose any option here, and really I don't see any one that I like, so I will choose custom. So for me, custom works well, and I can change the temperature of the light now from 6500 to 3500 and click OK. Okay, I know 3500 is actually warm, so I should have a warm light right now. So I'll cancel the the creation of light, and it's going to load, and you can see how bright, how orange the light is now. The color have changed. So what I now did in this case was to now distribute that light over so many surfaces. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to level 1. The light that I have inside this level 1 is not enough, and I don't want to bump it up unnecessarily, because by the time you increase the intensity of these lights too much, then you will have so many noises like this, and those noises will make your render to be very slow. So it is better to add more light. Even in 3ds Max, that's the way it works as well. So now I'm on level 1. Don't forget it's still on 1.8, so I can just continue to drop light maybe on this panel right now. maybe another one. Then in this living room, I can put like three. One, two, three. Of course, I'm not seeing them, but I know they are there. So when I'm through, I will right click and cancel 2 times. So let's see, it will give us an update. The update is not much well. One of the things I discovered about putting light on this level while I was doing it the other time as well was that those lights, they seem not to fall where I want them to be. So I'm just going to be looking for them, and I can't see them here. I can see the one on the first floor, but I can't see the one on the ground floor. So what's happening? It happened to me then as well. Let's just quickly see. Let's look at the second section, which is this. I can see we can't see those lights as well. So this one is even much more strange, but you can see, okay, we have this, we have this. It's still showing level 1, but now at 1800. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that level 1. I've selected these two, so I'll go back to that level 1. Now the two are still selected. Then I will right click and choose select all instances in view, but it's not showing in view. That's very tricky. So what can I do? Let's just look at it once more. Let me check this guy's here. Okay, this also supposed to be in level 1, but they are in level 2. You can see. So I can pick them. So one thing about Revit is it's always funny the way it behaves sometimes. So I'll stop the rendering so that Revit will be faster. This problem is not from Vray, it's from Revit itself. Revit can be very funny when it is working on much object. You can see these three, they are actually on level 1, but now they were raised up. So I'll put it on maybe like minus or 1200. So maybe they will go down. You can see now they came down. So I have them there right now. On the other section, I'm going to do the same. This is supposed to be 3. So this is one that is hidden here. You can see this also and this also. So I'm going to give them offset of minus 1.2 as well. I don't know why they behave that way, but they have happened to me before, and thank God I'm able to see them immediately now. So you would think this one is in level 2, but it's actually in level 1. So you can see level 1 again minus 1200. So those are only the little challenges, and it's Revit because all of these elements are from Revit, not from Vray. So let's try and see. So you can see that the lighting at the ground floor now looks much more better. It looks much more, well distributed and all that. And really, you can even continue to create. So if I go to site, because my site seems to be a little bit darker, so I have two options. I can either go to this website that I showed you, you can see some kind of good and nice railing component to use for your Revit family Revit project here. And it's not only for Revit. If you are using ArchiCAD, you can find even, I guess, they are for AutoCAD and also for SketchUp. So I'll go to their homepage. So you can see different lighting. You can choose by category. So if I go to category, you can see different ones, different, uh, you know, objects that you can get, doors and all that. So I'll just go to lighting, and you can actually choose some subcategories like uh, site lighting, for example. So we have different ones. So they are very, very clean and nice. I like them. So you can choose the one that actually applies to what you want to do. So for me right now, if I want to go details, of course, you know that it's going to be more than 1 hour that we are going to be using, and I don't have that time. But of course, you already know how to use Revit component before. So let me just kind of maybe go with this. So it only has Revit components and the IES that comes with it. So I'm just going to click download. So it's saying I should sign in. You are going to sign in. Of course, you are not paying anything. You just sign in. So now if I click download, so I must choose the file to download. I will choose the Revit and I will choose the IES as well. You can see the two of them and click download. So all the information about this light, the maker and all that are here. You can see lighting, side lighting, then this is the name of the people that are selling the light, and you can see the product cut sheet and all that, everything you need to know. And of course they have beam information on them. So if you are particular about getting this type of lighting, you get their website information on, when you click edit type on Revit, you will see every other thing. So it makes a lot of sense because you can use it to do your BOQ and all that. So I'm going to just click open. You can see all the IAS files here, and this is the Revit file. So I'm going to just extract, and I'm going to make sure that it's where I can see it well. So this PC local disk D, and I should have a Revit. Okay, let me just put it in the furniture component. Don't bother, so that at least I know I can go there and find it. So I'll stop the rendering as well so that it will be faster. So I have this site, and I can just click components, load families, go to where you finish your download is. Um, this is it. So this is what I just downloaded. I'll click open. So it's asking me to choose an IES. Let me just pick anyone for now and click OK. So they made it from 2017, so it's going to be uploaded. And one thing you will notice about it is it doesn't want to just be placed on anything. It only wants to be placed on like the wall. So I can change place on a face or on a work plane. So work plane makes sense. So I can begin. I can put one here, another one here, another one here. I can just continue to place them as I think fit for the project. So let me put another one here. I hope I'm not placing it on the car, but okay, the car, this is 2020, the car is in 2019, so let's just continue to place it. You can continue to place it here and there. So let's see the way it will look now. So if it is wall lamp as well, you are going to do that. If it is any type of light, just place them and you are going to see them working. I don't know. Okay, I think this is it, but I couldn't. Okay, so it's quite big. You can see it here. quite big. Just be careful and know how to place it. But you can see that after placing it, you might not even have to do anything except if it's not placed correctly. So I guess this one or this one is what we are seeing over there. So I can delete that one. So that is just how to place the lighting fixtures, and it's quite easy. Just enable under Vray, just enable artificial lights on and place your artificial light and play with the exposure value and the dome light setting, and if it is the sunlight as well, you just play with it and you can see the effect of that light, this light, around air. So if you think the light is not enough, so I think this particular one is that light. So if you think it's not enough, so what you can do is click edit type and scroll down again. You can change its own intensity alone. So you can see, so this is the intensity. I like to work with wattage because that's what I'm familiar with. So I can actually put it on 1000 watts and click OK. So you can see now it's much more brighter over there. It's much more brighter. We can see the intensity much more now. So because you wouldn't want to have the house well illuminated and the surroundings are now not looking okay. Of course, I personally will not use this particular lamp if I want to work, but no, if I want to, like on this particular project, I would not want to use it. But just to show you how things work, you can find the one that is cool and better than this and use. But generally, I'm just showing you how things work in Revit, and you can start, working with them. And you can see now we have the illumination. If it's not enough, you can still go and bump it up till you actually get what you want. And that's what I did for this light. I didn't use any lighting fixture. I just picked the normal lighting fixture, studio lighting from Revit, and I placed it all around, at least to give me all this illumination so that everywhere will not be that dark. So you might want to ask, how did I now put the water? Very important, right? Let me just quickly show you how I did it. Under Vray, you see setting, and under the setting, there are a lot of things. You don't. I always tell people, render setting is not what is important. Really, many people don't believe that, but yes, except you really want to achieve one particular thing and you know that it's a render setting that can give you that thing. I don't always bother about render setting because it's not always about render setting, it's about your own creativity in the first place. Then when you have the creativity, then you just increase your render setting, maybe to just have some kind of things that people call high resolution. Is always confusing sometimes, so I don't like to talk about it. But yet, what is important is under the environment. We want to create that water, and what we'll use is called infinite grand plane. So how are we going to use it? I'm going to show you right now. I'll go back to asset editor, and under the asset editor, I can really get water material directly. Tomorrow I'm going to be showing you how to create your own material yourself. In case you don't have the material you want to use here and you want to create yours, I'm going to show you as well. So if I go to liquid, they give us almost everything. You see we have normal water, but this particular water now I would say is like water that you put into a cup or something like that. So let's go with waves. Waves 1, 2, 3, 4. We can use any one of them, but I'm going to use wave prop 01. So let's just drop it here. That is it. Then when you have the infinite ground plane, just come to material and change it to wave. By doing that, it is more or less like we have activated the ground plane. So it is an infinite ground plane. That means it is big, very big. It is infinite. But how do you now see it? I'm going to quickly stop the rendering, and the zero level is somewhere around here in the Revit. So anything like this is below the zero level. So I'm going to place the infinite ground plane like around minus 1.8. You can play with the values to see the one that it will work. And if I click render now, you're going to see that we have the water on the ground plane. It's quite simple and easy. And it's not only water that you can do. You can actually use the ground plane. Oh, this is the ground plane now. It's quite crazy right now. It's still not going as low as we want to see it. So let's put it on minus maybe 2.4. Okay, maybe I will have to stop and render it again. Well, stopping and rendering it again will be something that will eventually be sorted by them. Relatively, this software was created in 2000 and if I'm right, in 2015, and they've been improving on it gradually since then. I still don't see the effect very well. So let's try and put it on minus 3 meters. I think minus 3 meters is too much, but yet let's see the way it looks. So the water materials seem to be too dark and not clear enough, so we can work on it. Let me just quickly show you how to work on it. So I click this. So normally when you want to create water, of course, the diffuse color will be black, the reflection is high enough. So I'm going to just play on the refraction. Refraction is black. So I'm going to just drag it a little bit like this, and let's try and see the way it looks now. So, oh, it's too low now. Kind of funny, but yet we can work it out. I think it should be like around 2 meters, but it won't refresh itself until I stop and render it again. So it's still not there, maybe 1.5. Normally the one that I used for this, I think it was around 1.8, but yet I don't know why it's misbehaving over there. I guess it's because of the material that I was not seeing it well the other time. So you can see now, you can see the water level now. So just play with the height until you get what you want, and you can see nice reflections of the water, and everything is beginning to look quite nice. If you are not okay with the exposure, maybe you think it's too dark and you don't want to be messing with this exposure over here, another thing you can do is you can enable at the lowest left corner on the frame buffer. If you enable it, you'll see some color corrections, and if I enable exposure, I can use it to bump the exposure up a little bit, as you can see. Now we have this area that was burning. You can see it's too white and all that. We can use highlight burn to reduce that. You can see. So we gain nice effects over there, and we can even work with the contrast to get much more feel. And now if I work with white balance here, if I drag it towards orange, it's going to give me much more blue. You can see if I drag it towards blue, it's going to give me much more warmer tone. So this is the way I like to use my white balance. I don't like to use it on the camera, and sometimes I don't even work with the white balance in the rendering. I take it to Photoshop because Photoshop gives much more options for the white balance, so I use that a lot as well. I hope it makes a lot of sense. Before we go, because we actually started a little bit late, I want to show you something that you might actually find very, very interesting. I find it very interesting as well. So I'm going to be showing you now. You know, you might want to show different lighting scenario. Like you have this particular evening setup, then you want to do afternoon setup as well. So and maybe you have light overnight, so you just want to set them together and go to sleep. So what can you do? It is called batch rendering, and I'm going to show you how it works. So just give me 1 minute. I guess my the screen I'm using here is making a lot of noise. Okay, sorry for that. I don't want it to interfere with audio. So what I will do is, let me just minimize this. You see, we are rendering from yard, so I can right click and choose duplicate view, and I can just duplicate. So now I can rename this to afternoon from yard. Yeah. So we can have even 5 different types. This particular camera view, different types, and yet render them independently. Also, I can choose that, okay, I've done the afternoon, the approach. Well, I don't like the approach view, actually, that's personal. You can find another view, maybe sections and all that. So when you have all your views, so now you can go to what is called view specifics. You can see when I enable it, beside the setting, I can set for each view. Now, I can choose from yard afternoon right now and actually go there and set another dome light for it. So I'll pick, I think 0.05 should be nice for me. So I'll put it on 10. So let's see the way it looks. So because it is view specifics right now, this one will be afternoon. So this is afternoon. I can change the exposure. Anything that have these dots on them, that means they are view specifics. So now I can put 14 here. So this 14 exposure now is particular to this view. It does not affect the other view. So you'll see the way it works now. Just wait for a while. Also, you will see that we do not have the water. So that's 14. And I can continue to increase this at the HDRI. So we do not have the water. I can go back to setting. It's loading. So because I know that the browser can actually cause it to slow as well, I'm going to close the browser right now. So, okay, let's just stop and start again. I don't know why it's not picking it automatically, because it does that. So I can also choose not to have the artificial light on. So I'll disable the artificial light. In this particular view, I can go to setting and make sure in the environment, I put this at maybe 1.8 and I give it that water material. And let's say I'm okay with this. So you can do this for as many views, lighting, different lighting scenario. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay. The This is our it's quite funny. These are plane. You can see the plane. So I guess I didn't set the, oh, I put it 1.8 instead of minus 1.8. So it's mirroring what is below. That's quite funny. What's happening again? I didn't choose any other thing than this. Oh, okay, okay. I'm the one. I should have allowed it to load. Oh, this is quite funny. It hasn't happened to me before. Why is it mirroring everything? So let me just put this back at 0, cancel this, and let's see if that problem will persist. Okay, then it should be minus 1800. Okay, it is there now. So let me just put the wave. So you can see now, I guess I pressed something, but I didn't press anything. It's just misbehaving. So you can see now, now that I'm through, you can do another one, do another type of lighting. Let's just quickly duplicate it as well. And let's rename it. Okay, save. I will not save it now because I'm just using it to show you. Rename and name it Vray instead of HDRI. Just want to show you how everything works. So now this particular one, what I'm telling it is I just want to use Vray for it. So I'll change the view. I'll change it to Vray. You'll see that the infinite plane is not there again. I can quickly put it on minus 1.8, put the material on it, and also set the light. I don't want dome light, I want the normal variation on it, and let's quickly see preview. So quite crazy. So I'm going to just set the exposure to 14. You can see that it's showing me 8. So the exposure is 14, and I'll turn off the artificial light, stop the rendering, start it again. So you can see the way it looks, quite nice, just for the variation. So let's say you now want to render those 3 views. So all you need to do is to stop the rendering, make sure that you are still on view specifics. Let's even say that I want to change the frame. I don't want the output size to look like this, so I can go to the resolution and change this to like 1 by 1, which will be square. So let's see the way it looks. You can see. So now let's say we have all this. I can put it on maybe like 1200 pixels. So when I'm through, I'll just quickly use draft because of time, and I'm going to choose the current view, and I'm going to enable. You can see the check mark beside them. I'm going to enable the 3 of them from yard. So as I've enabled the three of them, now to render them, I will just click coming. Okay, it's supposed to give me batch render. Okay, let me go to render production. Stop it, and now I should see batch render enabled. It's still not enabled, but it's supposed to. I've selected the views. So should I disable the view specific? I shouldn't. So seems like I don't know what I'm doing again, right? But normally that's the way it's supposed to. It's supposed to give us the batch render here. I don't know what I did that is not making it to give me. But that's just the way I always do it, and I've used it to actually do a lot of batch rendering before. But maybe we should stop it here. I will search for what was wrong, and I'm going to be showing you tomorrow. So thank you very much. I hope it's not a waste of time. I hope it makes a lot of sense. So by tomorrow, we are going to look at that view specifics, and also the solar study is quite important as well. We are going to be looking at it tomorrow. So also the people from Costech will be joining us on Friday to tell us more about Vray for Revit, the plan of Chaos Group for us, and how we can buy, it, and some other things that actually need to be done as well. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope it makes a lot of sense. Thank you. So I'm going to stop the streaming right now.